I wanted to ask about your view of intellectual property rights in the future that you've described. What's your philosophy toward intellectual property rights? Are they essentially things that, is this a concept whose time has passed and the internet is the proof of it? I should declare proprietary interest. My name is Jim Hoagland. I work for the Washington Post.
Yes, hi Jim. There's a balance between, as you know, because you've actually studied this, in the copyright area there's a balance of interests. And the copyright law of the United States has evolved. There's a very interesting article, by the way, about Google Books in the New Yorker this week by Jeffrey Toobin that I would encourage people to read, which I think lays out some of these tensions. From a Google perspective, intellectual property rights are fundamental to how we operate because we operate based on a set of proprietary things which we view ourselves as our own intellectual property. So the company wouldn't exist without basic intellectual property rights. In fact, we've supported a whole bunch of initiatives around that, especially outside the United States where the rights are not so strong. And the trick is to find legal and business mechanisms that allow people to be properly compensated for their intellectual property while still encouraging use. And there's always been a conflict between the person who wants to have only one viewer and they want to extract $1 million from that one viewer because of scarcity, and the social good of having 1 million viewers who basically monetize at $1, same amount of money. The history of American copyright law and intellectual property rights are that they go back and forth on this issue. And I would argue that the world is a better place that we can get to where where the largest number of people can see the most amount of information and pay for it. A classic example here would be iTunes. What happened was the record industry and the previous generation of leaders in the record industry, all of whom were essentially gone, fought to the death against Napster and so forth and so on. When the most obvious thing is that people actually were willing to pay a moderate amount for a song, and iTunes cleverly figured out a way to do that. There should be analogous models that are possible in the video industry, the movie industry, the newspaper industry, and so forth, which are appropriate to the model. One of the issues is that if you take the position, the extremist view, and I'm not suggesting that you do at all, if you take the extremist view that this is, quote, stealing, unquote, which is what's going on now, you ignore the real need that people have, for example, to repurpose their media. So what has happened with these digital copies is people actually want to be able to use the digital copy. They want a time shift. They want to be able to use their TiVo. They want to be able to watch it on their device when they're moving. They don't want to just be stuck with a television. So if you take the view that I do, that radio is incorrectly named, that radio is really audio entertainment, which is on my radio or on my computer, and television is really incorrectly described, it's really video entertainment, which is on my television or on other devices, that's what I as an end user want. And I'm willing to pay for it. And I think the most important comment I would make to all of you who are part of this is that this is a joint issue. We, Google, are critically dependent upon intellectual property protection, creative people, and so forth and so on, because that's what people are looking for. If you don't do it, we won't have it to give, and then we lose our model as well. So we really are critically dependent on this. And I want us to work this out in a way that's pretty exciting. With that, I'll say thank you very much for giving me such a wonderful stage, and what a great audience. Thank you very much.